Hi, I'm Amber, welcome to my channel. Today we are building a 1 tile wide house. I just have to change the lighting because that light is going to drive me crazy. It's blinding me. Much better. And there is a cat in the background, in case any of you are missing her being in the background of my videos. Really quickly, there is still no update on my van, so if you're waiting for any kind of update on that, I will post in the community tab page thing as soon as I have an update. So let's get straight into the build. So I've built an entire fully functional 1 tile wide house. It's completely functional, which is just crazy to me. I didn't know you could do this until I found out, because obviously, like, how does that work with beds? Sims can't climb into the bed from the very end of the bed. Sorry if I feel like self-conscious that I'm really breathy in this video, sorry. Yeah, but I didn't know it was actually possible until I found out you can place beds like halfway through a wall and Sims will still use them. Obviously, visually that's going to look horrible from the back of the wall because the bed will be sticking out, but don't worry, we get to that when we get to that and we'll fix it. I really wanted to try and put like an archway or something so the Sim could get into it, and then I really wanted to at least have some kind of wall next to it, but unfortunately I really couldn't do that. It was just not working, and so there's a lot of playtesting going on in this video. It's quite different to my usual build videos. I am constantly jumping in between live mode or live mode, whatever you want to call it, and build mode, and just constantly playtesting things. And the really annoying part is 1 second something will work and then you edit something entirely separate and you go back in, and because these are such tricky, weird placements, something goes wrong and suddenly nothing works anymore. I think for me the hardest bit was building the kitchen, and you might decide, imagine if I could speak. You might think the way I made the bathroom in this build was like cheating, but I don't care, it's my build and my challenge that I'm doing, so I did it for me and not for you. Anyway, I tried to decorate this wall because I had to, like I said, place a fake wall because the whole like move objects and situation and that was just not working with her being able to access that bed. But I play tested it at first and it worked fine, and then once I'd added all of these blocks she wouldn't get in from inside of the house. She would only get in from the exterior, which was not going to work for me. So I had to scrap that idea. There's a lot of that in this build. It's kind of like scrapping ideas and trying out so many different things. I've also got a 3x3 fully functional house build coming up soon, and that again is just so much playtesting. But with this, luckily I wasn't really limited on the length of the build, so like for the bathroom I didn't try and just squeeze it into a 1x1 tile, which I know is possible. I gave myself a little bit more room because it's the 1 tile wide is kind of the thing for this build, and it can be about as long as you really want it to be. So also, as always, if you see me looking down a lot, it's because my laptop is down here and I'm watching the playback of the speed build on here. I did try and record a build with me, so I'm like talking whilst building, but I don't know, I didn't like it. I did not like it. If you like those kind of things, I do have my like 5-minute build challenge style videos. I've got like all kinds of ones. I've got like 5-minute build challenge. I think I've done like a 4-minute. I don't know, I've made them like shorter and shorter and it's very difficult and crazy, but I do talk as I build in those ones. So if you are looking for like a build with me kind of thing, that's the kind of thing you should watch. And so I didn't know what to do about, like, I wanted to add a sofa for her to like watch TV on, but I knew that wasn't really going to fit in this space. So I added this tiny little ottoman. I think it came with the bowling, I nearly said kit, that's before kits were invented. The good old days. The bowling stuff pack. Yeah, I think it came with that, which had like a lot of very mid-century vibe stuff, which I feel like the Sims are really into the mid-century stuff, especially with like Get Famous and stuff like that. Then here you can see me really trying to do this kitchen. I was trying everything I could to make this kitchen work. I know that you can shuffle counters a bit into the wall and they do work, but I don't know if maybe the Sims need more space behind that counter to stand, or whatever it was, it wasn't working for me, and so you'll see me testing this out quite a lot and I end up changing it. Also, this Sim is kind of funny looking. If you're wondering why, in my last build I built the like Barbie dream house playhouse sort of thing, I just realised you can see my orange juice in the background. Not that anyone was noticing or cared about that. Anyway, I built like a Barbie dream house in my last build, and I made like the 50s classic vintage Barbie to go along with it, and she's got some weird proportions and stuff, and then I just personally redressed her and restyled her to be a modern sim, and ever so slightly changed her proportions because she did look a little bit too skinny. Not to body shame, you know what I mean, but she just looked very disproportionate. And so I changed her up a little bit, and so that is what this sim is, and she turned out really, really cute and like very early 2000s looking. Then here I was really trying to add in a desk with a computer because I wanted there to be like some skill building and just general gameplay stuff to do in this house, but it was not working. This is such a tiny space, and for the kitchen to work I needed it to be on that end wall, and for the bed to, well, I suppose I was going to say for the bed to work it had to be on an end wall, but it didn't. I shouldn't have put the bed on the end wall, and then I could have fitted in a desk. Oh wow, I'm learning. But yeah, I managed to kind of just fit a mirror was one of the skill building things. I really try and get an easel in towards the end as well, but that's not working. So yeah. You could probably get in like a gaming console to do the video gaming skill as well. And then here you can see the bathroom. So the reason I said you might say it's kind of cheaty is because it's not in the same one room, but it is still a one tile house, completely one tile wide. It's just you go out of the house and back in again to get to the bathroom, but it doesn't add any more width to the build. So to me, that's fine. I would have loved to have been able to do it without having to make that separate room, but it was just not working for me. And I kept the bathroom pretty simple. And then here you can see I'm trying to add in an easel. I tried sizing it down, which visually would be awful when they actually place a canvas on it. But even then it wasn't working. I added a postcard board, and then I'm starting to add in kind of windows, decorations, really finishing off the build now, and making it just cute and pretty. Yeah. And so I didn't really have to do a whole lot more playtesting after this point. One thing that bothered me is on this roof, when you look at it and tab from underneath, it's just like, how do I describe it? The walls obviously like, don't go up all the way inside the roof, and so you look at it from underneath in tab mode and it's like the whole building isn't enclosed from the outside where the roof is, if that makes sense. I don't think that made sense, but it makes sense to me. Anyway, and then I just wanted to try and decorate it. I really wanted to go with the like island living kind of vibes because it's in Sulani. And so here is kind of final tour of the build. You can see how I tried to cover up that bed. It's sticking out of the wall. You can kind of see it a bit still, but I covered it up as best as I could. I put some bushes all over it, and then here is the interior tour. There's not much to tour of it, but you've got your postcard board as you come in, and then to your right you've got your kitchen with a fridge, microwave, that's it. And then you got your TV, stereo, bookcase all in one from the Tiny Living stuff pack. Big front door. The front door is like weirdly big, but it's just because I wanted to use stuff from the Island Living pack. And I put in a teeny tiny doormat. I didn't want it to protrude too far into the build because the proportions on this whole thing are so weird. But I still wanted to add a doormat. I think doormats are just a very fun and realistic thing to add. I add them in like almost all my builds. So I made sure to add one here. And then you will see in a second, we will turn around. Any second now. There you go. And so you can see they've got somewhere to sit, they've got a full-length mirror, they've got the fake wall kind of thing next to the bed, just for the functionality. It's kind of annoying, but it has to do. And then they've got their bed, their dresser, lots of nice decorations and things. I couldn't really add too much like wall shelves and things like that because it was just glitching out too much for my sim to be able to move through the space. And I'm very sure, I sized down that dresser. I don't know if that itself is functional. I forgot to check. It's the one thing I didn't playtest just because it's not like a necessity for your sims. But everything that they do need, like the bed, the kitchen, the bathroom, all of that is fully playtested. And this is on my gallery page in Sims. There you can see like what I mean with the roof. When you look up, the walls don't reach all the way to the roof, so it's kind of like still one outdoor room, if that makes sense. But yeah, that is the entire build. I really hope you enjoyed this one. It was something a little bit weird and different, and I love doing these challenges where you're not trying to make like the most incredible, like, unique stylized build, but you're just trying to do something goofy and silly and fun, and I think those are like really fun builds to do. So I do hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you're not already. I do post van life content as well, but my van has been not so well the last few months. It has been months now. It's very sad, but hopefully she'll get fixed up. I'm selling her off, I'm getting a new van, and then you're going to see me building out an entire camper van from scratch. No experience. It's going to be so much fun. So please stick around if Sims videos and camper videos interest you, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!